In this episode,
It's where they're from, man. It's where the personality types, the way they talk. It's awesome. So go check out that show.
They're also on Final Guys. Unfortunately, Tim Meyer and Jason Brand are also on Final Guys. But, you know, you can block out the screen.
They're also, unfortunately. And Chad's over there, so you can talk to Chad because Chad's always in the comments. He's always hooting and hollering sometimes at some of their recommendations or their reviews, and he's letting people know that they're wrong.
That's right.
Welcome. You're listening to Paleo Cheese Podcast, episode 35, part 2, Velocipastor.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeremiah Bannister.
And I am Chad Lutsky.
And you are watching Paleo Cheese, a fantastic program, part of the Project Entertainment Network. And we have a mega dope episode today, Chad.
Yes, this is part 2 of episode 35, where we promise to subject ourselves to the film Velocipastor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know anyone who's seen this, Jim.
Dude, I've never heard anybody bring it up other than you.
Well, it's constantly, if you get on Twitter, you'd see how much it's trending.
Yeah. It's trending right now. Yeah. It's trending right now, man. Yeah, we've like doubled the audience with the two of us watching, you know what I mean?
But we haven't done this in a while, and I'm just gonna say this right now. I think that we started with the peak. I feel like we went full bore enlightenment with Birdemic, and that nothing is going to be as entertaining as that. I just don't see that happening.
It
doesn't mean that we won't be entertained by some silly movies, but that one, man. So again, I'm calling out Jason Brandt so we can get his butt back on here for Birdemic 2. He needs to watch the first one so that and do his for his channel So Bad It's Good.
Yes. He's been lollygagging. We're dying over here. We've literally it's like, you know, people old enough to remember what it's like to sit lonely by the phone, lighting candles and listening to The Cure, waiting for your, you know, significant other to call and stuff. That's what it feels like. Waiting for him. I mean, dude, we've been sitting by the phone and just lighting candles and listening to what is it, Disintegration? Just over and over and over, man. You know, it's pictures of you.
It's not fair, Jason. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. So he has to come on here. He has to watch the first one.
Yeah.
You know, and look, I'd be down if he's like, look, I want to watch the first one, but honestly, it'd be nice if I wasn't alone. I get that. You know, people like to snuggle while they watch movies like Birdemic. I'd be down watching, you know, with him.
Yeah.
If that would compel him to get to that place. Hold his hand. Yes. So we're calling you out, man. We want you very badly to be on the show. Because I wonder if Birdemic 2 is going to be as good. I have a feeling that it's actually, like, in an objective way that is, like, I'm not joking, is actually better, I guess. And that might actually make it worse.
As far as the experience, yeah. Plus, last time we were blindsided. This time we won't be, and that's what made last time so funny. Is because we were like, you know, it was so bad that it was hard to tell if it was almost like this is fake, and it's not. Everyone involved was very serious.
I almost spit that out, bro.
I know.
It's true, dude. It's like, when you watch it, you're thinking this isn't real. Something's not right. And then you read the background to it and you learn about it. And what is it, Taiwanese guy or something that made him? Yeah, something like that. You know, he dude's dead serious.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a joke to him. He's very serious. He does not think it's the worst. He's kind of riding on it now because, you know, he can pack out theaters and stuff. I guess they'll have special viewings and stuff and he'll pack it out. But, you know, yeah. So I think we kind of set ourselves up in a way because now, I mean, sure, we can watch a movie and we'll see, because Where Rooster was pretty rotten. We thought that was the end all in a way.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, well, because I almost didn't even finish it. I wanted to
I'm gonna
shut
stop
it off.
drinking coffee. I'm done. I'm putting the cup down to start watching. Oh, yeah, you almost stopped.
But I'm excited about this one. I really don't know what I'm in store for. I don't know if it's just going to be, Were Rooster, where it's kind of like, silly, and obviously it's intentionally. I mean, it's called Velocipastor. A pastor turns into a velociraptor.
Yeah,
and whatever he's doing, getting revenge. I'm not sure, but so it's going to be ridiculous, just like none of the Were Rooster. But I'm hoping. So that already puts it in a different class, because you've got Birdemic, where this is this guy's passion. This is a passion project, dead serious. This was his big motion picture. And then you've got
project.
And then you've got Velocipastor and None of the Were Rooster, where it's like, let's make a really bad movie, guys. So there's that already. It's not going to be as good as Birdemic, and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out, dude. And I gotta say, I don't know if anybody noticed this, dude, but a lot has actually happened. And we predicted this. We said we're gonna get dressed and get all of our stuff put together and everything else. And dude, look, I have a very messy bookshelf behind me now. Got the green. I'm sporting green. But you, dude, you even have a boom stand. It's like the mail came. You got a hat on, the whole 9 yards.
The mail came and I got a hat on. Yep.
Yeah, you got a hat on. Well, you said you were gonna have a hat on. Yeah. So you made good on it, dude. You know what? We always make good on our promises. Our listener knows that.
Yes. And
you missed it. I said one listener. Our listener knows that. Yeah. And you're like, yes. What? You ruined the joke, Chad.
Well, I'm just so used to it. I'm like, yes, you speak the truth.
The one guy.
To be fair, there's been a small handful. Like my buddy Lance. I think he listens religiously. Certainly appreciate that. But you know what? I would assume that most listeners are like me. You hide the bushes and you watch, and you don't say a word.
Yeah.
You just
it's true, actually.
Voyeur. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, what do they say? There's a statistic for it on radio. I forget how many. It's like 100 people for every one caller or something.
Right.
Most people won't call, and so you can base it off that. So if that's true, and if we could use that same metric, then dude, we have 100 viewers because somebody sent us something, and dude, it was perfect. It was perfect. Shane, we want to give a big shout out to Shane today. Wrote us and said in the tagline, "I hate your show." Loved it. I said, yes, even if it says that, we'd be so glad. And it's true. Just kidding. You're finally on Podbean. Totally true. So I've started adding your show to my queue. This latest episode was a good listen. He's talking about the alien abduction one. I used to be all into the possibility of aliens that quickly faded when some hoaxes came to light. I'm currently of the mind of the probability of life out there. What I'm not convinced is that they're visiting us. We may never know in our lifetime, but it's interesting to imagine. And that's from Shane, who hates our show, loves our show, listens. And I wanted to say that because we're really grateful, Shane.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shane. Grateful that you took the time, man.
Yeah. Or Shane is an alien, and his email is just trying to sway people away from the belief of aliens.
Dude, that's that is like the deepest thing. That's
a whole other show.
It's a whole other show. We should actually do a show.
It's a whole other podcast based on
it. Yeah. Is Shane one of those like the disinformation agents that sent out, to like dissuade people who are onto something, and they're like, well, I used to believe that, and kind of makes you feel like, yeah, it's kiddie stuff. And behind the scenes, it's like,
it's aliens
control. Are here.
Shane is damage control for the aliens, for sure.
Yeah, definitely damage control. So, but we're really grateful. And if you would like to reach out to us, it's super dupe easy. Again, as I said, Paleo Cheese with a Z at the end there, cheese, CHEEZE. And you can send that at Gmail. And if it's cool like this, we'll read it.
We'll give you a shout out, man.
Yes.
And even if you throw in a question or something, we might answer it.
Yes. And actually, speaking of questions, we weren't going to say any of this, but are you still doing your Ask Me Anything? It's like an ongoing thing. Like how is that? Does that?
Yeah, I only have one video up right now. I've got some other questions to get to, and I plan on putting up, a video every week, every 10 days, something like that. There's another one that's due soon, and I'll need to record.
All right. So make sure if you want to send a question to Chad, and they can send it, of course, Paleo Cheese. We'll have them do that. Just send it there, and say, hey, Chad, I want to ask you a question. And so fill up the inbox. And so the Ask Me Anything, do attention to Chad, AMA, and think of something good. Think of something good to ask this guy.
Even if your question is, will I send $500,000 to Nigeria? Go ahead and, send that email.
Yeah.
That would be a very unique email to receive.
Are you a Nigerian barrister? Are you related to a prince and you're trying to connect with people and their social security number? Yeah. So, but make sure again, Paleo Cheese, PALEOCHEEZE @gmail.com. And either anything to do with the show or attention to Chad for the Ask Me Anything AMA. All right, bro. We got to watch the flick, man.
Before we get started, we should also mention that we were on Monster Men.
Oh, yes.
And that they released the video.
Yes.
Today, May 27th, which is actually my sister's birthday, Cindy. So shout out to her. Yeah, and tomorrow is my sister's birthday.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We're Shane.
Dude, you didn't let me say it. I was going to say Rashawn, dude. or was it Rayshawn? Wait, what was I saying before? Rashane. Yes, I was gonna say it correctly, dude. I remember that.
So shout out to them both.
Yes.
And but yeah, the Monster Men podcast. Love those guys, Jack Campese and Hunter Shea. We're talking about doing some. I won't say what they called it, but just swapping around on
yeah, man.
Each other's podcasts and every month or two, just so we'll have like this sister podcast and we'll just keep
it's destiny, bro, because they're so much fun. We all get along. Like it's great chemistry. When we had them on, dude, individually, together, it was so awesome. And we even said that. We said, look, it's some of the most memorable stuff, and I didn't know them. I didn't know them beforehand. So and that's true for most of the guests. Like these are people that that I've met through being your friend and working with you with this. But with them, I remember we, because we always talk behind people's back. They're off the air and we start talking, we say, of course, always flattering things. Every time. We love all of them, but to say it was something just really unique and special, man. We were like, maybe it's because they're, in kind of the podcast thing and similar style and similar, friendship dynamic and stuff. And so we had wondered how, but even if that was true of them, that doesn't mean that it would flow great with us, but it did. And so then they invited us on, and bro, that's the first time that the two of us had been on a show together outside of this.
Yep.
And bro, it was awesome. And we got to see The Fly, the original, the remake. It was just,
that was their discussion. We were talking about the original Fly with Vincent Price. Happy birthday, Vincent Price. And the remake with Jeff Goldblum. Happy birthday, Jeff Goldblum. No, I'm just kidding.
It's everybody's freaking birthday today. It's everybody's birthday, dude. So, but no, seriously, it was so much fun. So people got to go check it out. It's over at our Facebook page. It'll be on Twitter, although to be honest, I'm not even on it, but I'll share it on Telegram, and I know you're not on Telegram. So I'll go ahead and I'll share it on Telegram. You'll share it on Twitter, and it's on our Facebook page for the show. And so
check out their podcast. They're good. I don't know what we're gonna do next. We were, but hopefully soon we'll have them on, and then they'll have us on. And they asked that we be a little bit kinder to them this time. We subjected them to Black Christmas, which the original is phenomenal.
Yes,
as most any horror fan knows, or anyone who's seen it, versus the last remake that for some reason was called Black Christmas as well.
The worst, bro. That's the worst, like in a legit way. Like, we've joked about Were Rooster, we've joked about Birdemic. I would rather watch Birdemic. I would rather watch Were Rooster. than watch that crappy freaking film. It was so dumb, so
garbage.
bad.
Yeah.
Just hot trash, dude. It was the worst. So we subjected them. We'll be nicer, right?
Yes.
But this is the beginning of a cool, friendship and and not just friendship, but because that's already happened, but something that says, taking it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like second basin with these guys.
Right. Like what's the word for menage a trois with 4? Orgy, I guess.
Oh yeah, orgy, gangbang. I don't know. Menage a trois with 4. Wow. So all right, but yeah. So make sure to check it out, and of course check out their show. It's an amazing show. They're always fun, and they're really just legit, down to earth, hilarious guys, and they're really a lot of fun. And it's cool to know them and to be getting to know them more. And I consider it an honor. And so I'm really happy to have been on that show, and really happy that it's up. And so I don't know. I'm happy now that we're going to watch this film.
And how much did we charge them for that ad just now?
Not enough, dude. not nearly enough. Dude, they're throwing quarters, man. They're throwing quarters. Go buy a lottery ticket. Yeah, but it's good, man. Because I'm telling you, they're legit. They're legit guys. And I think if you love our show, this is the last thing I'll say about it. If you love our show, Money Down says you probably loved their show before ours. But if you haven't seen theirs and you love ours, go over there right now. Like, go watch it.
Yeah,
because it's awesome. And there's enough crossover with style and attitude and stuff, but it's unique to them because it's where they're from, man. It's where the personality types, the way they talk, it's awesome. So go check out that show.
They're also on Final Guys. Unfortunately, Tim Meyer and Jason Brand are also on Final Guys. But, you can block out the screen. They're
also, unfortunately. And Chad's over there, so you can talk to Chad because Chad's always in the comments. He's always hooting and hollering sometimes at some of their recommendations or their reviews, and he's letting people know that they're wrong.
That's right.
Yeah, not all conclusions are valid or equal. So, and you can connect with him in the comments. He's always over there, and so make sure to go check that out. So, all right, this is Velocipastor, buddy.
Bless you, my son.
All right, so here we go. On the count of 3, I'll do it properly this time. Did your son really do this? Does he do this? Does he put his arms in his sleeves?
I don't know. Well, when I said "bless you, my son," I was just referring to.
Oh, I thought you said let's do my son like your son does.
No,
that.
I said bless you, Pastor. Bless you, my son.
So, Chad.
So we just finished Velocipastor.
Yeah, Brendan Steer, you did it. Written, directed, and edited. Produced, Brendan Steer, man.
Lots of laughs.
Legitimate. Yeah, this was a legitimate movie. I thought it was just going to be like crap, but it's one of those like it's the crap is on purpose.
Yeah, it's like Killer Sofa.
It's like Killer Sofa, but this but
it was done well. Like all of the bad stuff was absolutely on purpose.
Yep.
And I didn't feel like any of it was too silly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a part here or there, like the she's fine at the end. But
I was torn up. I was glad to see that she's fine. I was okay, and I'm not even lying, right? I'm telling you the truth. Like,
spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it.
I was telling you, like throughout the whole thing, right? Right in the beginning, I'm like, hey, she's kind of cool and kind of cute, and I'm talking about her clothes and talking about her, and then that love scene, and it was like it was a great montage, and it's got the music and the cool editing and the effects that were going on, and it was clean, so it's implied, kind of had that, it was great, and she's a decent person, it seems. She's going through school, she's struggling to get money for her lawyer degree. And so, but then that happens to her, and I was so upset about it because I'm expecting.
You had just said like 15 seconds prior. You said nothing better happened to her.
Nothing better happened. And because especially when she got down and she's doing that superhero thing, and I'm like, yep. I'm like, she got me wrapped around her finger, and then all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, this happens. Some rando coming out of a tent. I was upset, but I also knew, like, okay, he's gonna go up against the main guy. So I was taken by surprise that she was fine. And then when it said she's fine, I'm like, yeah, she's fine. It's good. So even that, but you're right. That's cheesy. And there were some cheesy parts, but even those, it's like, I didn't feel like there was anything that didn't match the kind of goofiness of the whole thing.
Yeah. The tone of the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was smarter than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, by far.
Like the dialogue and the jokes were funny. There were definitely a lot of jokes in there that could be like overlooked, maybe. That especially if you're not watching it with a friend or if you don't know what you're getting into and you don't realize that it's like, dude, there's so many quotables in this movie. So many quotables.
Yeah.
Tons. What does cocaine have to do with Christianity? Everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Dude, it's funny because I was like, and then they explain that, that they're trying to basically force people to convert and to hit rock bottom so that
they do.
Yeah. What an evil thing to do.
And the part where he says, there was no such thing as dinosaurs, and even if there was, I don't turn into one. It was such a good. But I knew with that dialogue when they're in that room and you're thinking, because I remember seeing the preview. This is one of those I saw the preview, because we were deciding between Rare Rooster and this.
Yeah.
And I saw the preview, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I was off put by the idea because I'm a Roman Catholic, so I know that Catholicism's in tons of movies, but if you're making fun, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm like, I don't need to, if I'm going to pick between Were Rooster and, that, but this doesn't qualify. Like, I feel like, I don't even think they're trying to be serious about it. Like about that. It wasn't a Catholic church. It wasn't, none of the symbols were Catholic. I mean, in fact, some of it looked Anglican. Some of it said Church of Christ on the outside of the building. Like, that's most definitely not a religion is going to be having this. I mean, so it's like, it's nothing like, it's not serious at all. But that dialogue where you're thinking that they did it, and he's sitting there and he's under the impression that they did it, and the viewer's probably under the impression that they did it. But then there's these little cues that can be taken different ways, but you're getting the kind of the hint that maybe it didn't happen and she's not thinking that, but he is. And it was just so artfully done. It was so good. That whole dialogue, when that happened, I even said it. I said, dude, this is good. And I knew from that point forward, I'm like, whoever the writer is, this, Steele or whatever, this is well done. And I can anticipate that it's going to be at a certain level, And it exceeded every expectation I had of this movie.
Yeah, me too. It was a lot of fun, and freaking great soundtrack.
Yes, man.
Like every one of those songs I would have, I would listen to like on my own. I didn't expect that. I expected some kind of like, generic soundtrack or something, but yeah, it was great songs that I'd never even heard before.
Exactly. And I felt like it was cool because, I know you're a punk rock guy, and I like punk, but I'm pretty selective about it. But I felt like with this, that it was like a kind of a cool blend where it had a certain feel that was almost old school, but it also had more contemporary elements to it too.
Yeah, they had like a kind of more of a sleazy rock song that probably would be considered punk, and then they had like a pop punk, no FXE kind of thing, and then they had like almost like a White Stripes type song, and then like a Weezer type song. But it was all like heavy distortion guitar, and it fit the scenes well.
Yeah.
And I liked the editing choice on the I guess we'd call it a sex scene, but
the love scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yes. The editing was dope, bro.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. In fact, it wasn't just like one cool thing. It was like multiple. I mean, the tiles that were moving across the screen, the split screen, top and bottom and left and right, the use of colors where the top might be focused on a green and the bottom is focused on a red. And then the way that their hands were like crossing over each other, and then it shows their hands come together. It was just, and then how fast it was showing scenes, like, you know, so you're seeing all they'd been through kind of, and filling in blanks even that you hadn't seen. And I just sat there and I'm like, man, this is, so the writer not only wrote it and he not only directed it, but he edited this thing.
Yep. And
he did a masterful job. Like, I don't know. This is a good movie. This is a cool movie. I would, yeah. And so I way beyond expectations. And this was very fun. Funny. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, very funny. And I thought the sorry, dude, I don't know your name, but the and I don't have it sitting in front of me, but the main actor, the guy, the Dexter lookalike, he was great, man.
Yeah.
He was great in it.
And what's his name? Let me see here. Let's see. Writer stars Greg Cohen.
Greg, you did a great job.
Yeah, but he did a fantastic job. Alyssa did a fantastic job. You know, the guy with the walrus stash, he played the part well for being a role that was intentionally meant to be bizarre and goofy.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like everybody, and even the weird thing at the end with the brother that's like way out of the blue,
dude, that was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, man. Like, what the heck is this? And where the kid, it's like, you're my only son. And he pops up from the back of the car. Yeah. So at first I'm like, really? You know, I don't really like that normally in movies where it's kind of a surprise, but they made it a joke because he's literally not at the table. He's in the back of the car, you know? So like, it didn't matter if you saw, you're like, why didn't I see him? Well, because he's literally like a nobody to the family. They totally mistreat this kid. And so, you know, but you're right too about things that if you watched it with a friend, they may notice stuff. Like, you notice the bread. I might not have noticed that. And you notice the boom mic, you know, I noticed
in the empty plate, there were 4 plates. And I'm like, well, who's the 4th plate?
Yes. So there was a hint of the brother.
Yeah.
Because it was an empty plate. And you mentioned that. Yeah. You said, there was another plate. I didn't catch that. And then I caught the jacket, that his jacket changed.
Yeah.
And caught the hole and the dinosaur thing. And dude, this goes back to something that you said, and you're so right. You were totally right then. And tonight, I think it proves it. It settles it forever. Were-Rooster made a huge mistake by not showing the Were-Rooster.
Yeah.
And you said on that episode, even if it was terrible, even if it was some dude in a chicken costume looking dumb, running around, it would have been better and it would have been funny and we would have been laughing at it and stuff. This proves it because I've never
a horrendous costume.
Terrible.
Imagine if it never showed a dinosaur and it only showed like just the claw
or even just the head. But the fact that it showed the body like that.
Yeah.
And you got to see, and it's running around and fighting and you're sitting there. It's so obvious what this is. And yet it was perfect. It was perfect. And if it didn't have it, it would go down, even showing the face, you know, because Were-Rooster did show the eye.
It showed the eye and like a foot.
Yeah, an eye and a foot.
Feet, maybe.
Not enough, man. Not enough. And so even the hand, even the face and stuff, but to show the body, you know, and there probably was discussion on, you know, should we really do that? Yes, because that was perfect. That was a hilarious scene. And without that, it would have been a real bummer. And so you're right, Chad. You were right.
Yep. I would encourage people to get it. It's free on Amazon right now, on Amazon Prime. It's definitely worth, I mean, especially if you like B movies. Like I said, or we both said that this is kind of a smart one. You know, it doesn't get too silly. The humor in it, I felt was, you know, smart, not just something where let's be as silly and dumb as we can, you know, and some of it was so random. Like, China is East. I just don't, some of it was so random that's why it made it hilarious, or just different things that maybe your average person might not catch that I know we're supposed to be funny. Like, when we pick you up from priest college.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Hop out of the car. We're going to go on a ride and we'll pick you up after priest college. Or your parents died. That's what parents do.
That's what parents do.
Yeah, that's what parents do.
Yeah.
And so those little things, man. And like you said, dude, you're right. This is, if we went back and just watched it another time or whatever in the future, watching it and writing down quotes, dude, this is loaded.
Yeah.
This is loaded with quotes that are hilarious. I'm shocked. I'm actually offended. I mean, IMDB right now, it's a 5.1 out of 10. Cuckoo crazy pants. That is nuts. I get it. People would say, well, this is a joke and stuff. That's a genre in its own right, dude.
Yeah, but if the scale were like, if the website were dedicated to like B movies and then it was a 5, then I think that would be bad. But I don't think that 5 is, I mean, Birdemic's got what, like a 1.2 or something like that?
You can't, come on, man. Come on, Birdemic. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. It's not in genres, but look, I don't know if people, I don't, how would you rate it? How do you do that then? If you don't rate it according to the genre, you're like just overall for movies, that's kind of fake. I like it, I guess, with, I don't know. It seems like the rating was better on Amazon. Like the Amazon one, I was surprised because it had like, I forget how many thousands of people or whatever, and it was rated pretty high. It's like, and so I see this, I'm like, whoa. But it says right here, popularity, it's gone up 1,009. It's now at 3,572. And it has the little green arrow up, and the arrow saying that it's gone up over 1,000 points. So that's because
a couple of weeks ago we mentioned we were going to watch it.
Oh, of course. Yeah. They so always know to
our
prepare.
Our listener went and watched it.
Shane did. Yeah, Shane's like, I went already, guys. I already clicked on it. Yeah, IMDb preps. They keep track of the show to see what we're gonna watch, so that they know. They're like, look, we got to monitor and see. This is the paleo cheese bump. That's, everybody calls it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
sorry,
do.
I'm sorry. I caught on too late. I was thinking something. The paleo cheese bump. Yeah. I do want to address something real quick. We've joked around a lot about having only one listener or a couple listeners and stuff like that. But I think we should mention that, we see our analytics for Acast, and we are happy to report that since we started this, we actually have listeners all over the world. Yeah. Not in every single country, and in most of the states, and some of these listeners, you can tell in some of the cities, they listen very regularly, and we really appreciate that. So,
and here's the thing. We know that we're joking around. You listen to the show. At the same time, maybe there's, a couple folks that'll be like, well, look, I listen. I know we don't, you're a number in the analytics. We want to get to know you. We want to be buddies. Right? If you've invited us into your life,
tell us what you want to see more of or hear less of.
Yes. Even if it's, me taking off my shirt and wearing whipped cream for a show, whatever.
Oh, goodness.
I'm okay with that. We're intimate. We're intimate. No, in seriousness, so think about it. People have invited us into their homes, and by into their homes, I mean sometimes maybe they're laying in bed going to sleep listening to some paleo cheese, and I'm like, technically, if sharing straws is like, French kissing and stuff, then they're kind of spooning with us. And so if you're spooning with us and we're already at that place, write us a love letter. Okay. And you can do that. Write us a love letter. We'd love to hear from you, to get to know you guys, because we have a lot of fun doing this. And, we have a lot of fun doing this because not just because we're friends, but because we have to believe that you are having fun with us. And so we're inviting you, have more fun, snuggling close, spoon real tight, feel our breath on your neck. Email us, for crying out stinking loud. Email us right now. We love you guys and girls. I know. And the ladies. Yeah.
Yeah,
right
get a hold of us. Tell us what you want to hear more of, what you want to hear less of.
Yeah.
Send in a question for the AMA thing, whether it's for me or for Paleo Cheese. We will give you a shout out on, and so that all of the listener can hear it.
Yes. All of the listener. That took me like 1.5 seconds. And then it registered, and I'm like, yeah. And that one guy's like, yeah. I'm so special tonight. Oh, well, it's been fun, Chad.
Yeah, man.
You did good, buddy. You did good with this selection, man. This was a lot of fun. And so make sure to email us, paleocheese@gmail.com. One more time. Paleo Cheese, that's PALEOCHEEZE @gmail.com.
Sayonara.
Sayonara, bro.